I want to share this video with you about the LA fires because these are going to have a long impact on Las Vegas for years to come. But most people can't see it. And I even asked on my social media what people thought, the impact would be from what happened in the Pacific Palisades to here in Las Vegas and the local real estate market. And a lot of people seem to think either little to none at all. And that's because they're taking a very narrow viewpoint of the situation and they're not seeing the extended impact or the longer term impact it could have, not just on the Los Angeles area, but also here in Las Vegas, but also nationwide. California is the state I am from, so that's where I was born, raised, went to school from pre-K all the way through graduate school. Then I moved here to Las Vegas, and for over a decade now, I've been making content online talking about the local life here in Vegas, travel stuff, real estate, and just been a local resource for lots of things going on here in the Vegas Valley. It's also a more sensitive topic. It's a tougher one, I think, to talk about, and I'm generally more prone to cover those than most people. In this situation, there are already some bad signs before things really went bad with the fires in January of 2025. And over the years, there have been issues with homeowners insurance and insurance companies either deciding not to renew policies or just completely pulling out of the state altogether. And in 2023, there was a study done by the California Association of Realtors that showed about 7% of home sales fell through because of issues with homeowners insurance. Well, in 2024, that number almost doubled to 13%. And now California's FAIR Plan, which is the state's version of homeowners insurance, has actually ran out of money. So they passed, a $1 billion bailout, and now California homeowners are on the hook for half of that money. In the immediate aftermath of the situation, lots of people obviously left Pacific Palisades and moved to nearby areas like Malibu, Beverly Hills, Brentwood, and some of you have probably seen, video clips online, people in the real estate world giving their best estimates of how many people they think will not return to Pacific Palisades.
Maybe 35 to 40% of the people won't go back to the Palisades. I now up my number to 65 to 70% of the people who lived in the Palisades won't go back there. What are they going to do? They're going to be the house that's finished and then live amongst 100 other houses being developed. The kids that are 5 years old, they're going to be 10 years old by the time it's done. They're not going to go to the same school.
Who's going to move to the Palisades, or are we going to see that city kind of
The calls
end?
that I've got have been across the board of, I'm 70 years old, I just evacuated for my last time, I'm out. I'm never going back.
Where are they going?
Okay, that was the Palisades. So they're either going locally or because of, they're fed up with the regulations and government, they're out. California, and if they're not and they're out of LA, they're going down to Newport Beach.
Now, regardless of however many people, initially say, hey, we just want to stay here in the area, I think once you get to a point where you get 6+ months away from the situation where people have now had time to resettle, try to get their lives back on track and evaluate what they want to do going forward, I think you're gonna have more people who are going to be open to the idea of looking to go somewhere else. And a big reason of that is going to be because of the cost and the time it's going to take to rebuild.
But now, what do you think construction companies are going to do? You think they're going to give a discount?
Hell no.
Here's what a construction company is going to say. He's going to be like, hey man, Johnny, I want you to help me rebuild my Malibu home the fastest. Tom, respectfully, I have 80 other people that are asking me to do it. And I'm all about to go into contract. What's the guy offering you? He's offering me $600 a square foot. I'll do 800. Okay, so now he calls him. He says, hey man, Pat's wanting to do it for 800. I'll do 900. What do you think this construction guy's, which job you think he's going to take? Honestly, actually think about it.
Another thing I noticed too is a lot of the stuff going on in the media seems to be purely focusing on the homes that were lost, because obviously that was a huge portion of this, but not a lot of attention talking about businesses or talking about schools. And I've seen some people online say, oh, they don't think it's going to impact the Vegas area because they lost their home, but they still have their jobs, so they're going to stay in the area. Well, there are people whose jobs were seriously interrupted if they can't go to the business or small business that burned down, or a school that's going to be a total loss, or a school that had damage where they're at least, having to find work for some other time, or they have an interruption in their work and their income. So it's not just the houses that seem to get a huge amount of focus. It's also the jobs and the schools that factor in too for someone's decision if they're going to be looking to possibly move somewhere else, whether that's within the area in California or Northern California or to another state. Remember, the fact that Las Vegas and Los Angeles are only about 4 hours apart in driving distance has had a huge impact on the growth of this area over the recent decades. It's understandable why so many people from Southern California wind up moving to Las Vegas. Aside from the distance, we do have no state income tax, we have the fourth lowest property taxes in the country, and we have little to no natural disasters. And a situation like this is going to encourage people to relocate here, which is why I'm here to help like I've done ever since 2014. Whether you're local, future local looking to rent or buy, I want to give you a custom game plan to help you out with your specific situation. If you would like that, there's a link down below. You just fill out a short form, and a realtor that I've known for over a decade named Lacey will be getting in contact with you. We are both agents here in Nevada, and together we'll be able to come up with a game plan for you to help you with that process, whether you're moving in 2 months or 6 years. The other thing to keep in mind with this situation, the fires in LA, it's not just Southern California, not just these fires, because throughout California, you have other areas that are prone to natural disasters. So you think of like people in the San Francisco Bay Area, which is like earthquake central. There's gonna be some people there who are concerned about a natural disaster and some of the issues that have happened with the fires happening if they have a disaster up there. And some of those people are gonna be looking and saying, we're out. Same thing for people who are just sick of some of the policies in California. They see the bad effects of what's been going on, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna get out too, or we're gonna be leaving sooner than we thought we were going to. As far as what impact LA's reconstruction with all of this is gonna have here on the Las Vegas area, it will, because what happens in Los Angeles can definitely impact here in Las Vegas, and oftentimes it does. So with these homes being built, they're gonna need more contractors. So don't be surprised if contractors from Vegas are going down to LA because they can make more money on projects there. And if they are going to be making more money on projects there, there will be a higher demand for construction supplies to build those homes. So don't be surprised if there's a construction supply shortage here in the Vegas area because of what's going on with the rebuilding in Southern California. Now, when it comes to our local housing market, I've been talking to several people who are real estate professionals and investors in the area. And one of the things to keep in mind is when a lot of those buyers come from California or other states, many of them come here and they have higher incomes than the majority of the locals do in this area. And I've seen some people who are locals and across the country who are thinking about looking to buy in the Vegas area. And I know some are saying, hey, they're waiting for interest rates to drop, and you can certainly do that. But one thing I think that seems to happen is, interest rates are not the end-all, be-all of home prices. People seem to often overlook the supply and demand factors, the basics of economics. And, I'll give you guys an example here. So back in September 2022, interest rates were 5.66%, and we had just over 11,000 homes on the market. Well, you flash forward to January 2025, and interest rates were 6.91%. So the interest rate was higher, but we only had just over 7,000 homes on the market. So the interest rate was higher, but our inventory was down because people are still buying even with the interest rate going up. And to start the year off, we just set a record here in Las Vegas for median home price in January. So if the interest rate does go down, which at some point it very well may, we don't have that many houses available in inventory compared to what we had in years past. For years, we've had low inventory here. So if interest rates go down, which a lot of people are waiting for, yeah, the money to borrow is going to be cheaper for you, but it's also going to be cheaper for everyone else to borrow. And when more people are borrowing, then more people are going for a limited number of homes, supply and demand always kicks in, and the price is going to go up. So I want to share those numbers with you so you have an idea, because your life is more than a spreadsheet. But I just want to make you aware of the numbers so you can decide for yourself what it is you want to do. If you need help with what that might look like, the link is down below. Thanks for watching. I'm Jacob. This is My Life in Vegas.